Hi everyone, welcome to my webinar. This is a webinar to cover the 5 keys you absolutely need if you want to be successful on YouTube. So some of you are familiar with me and maybe some of you are not. So let me introduce myself. My name is Kassandra Reinhardt and I am the founder of Yoga with Kassandra. My YouTube channel offers free yoga classes on a once-a-week basis, and I just reached 50,000 subscribers, which is pretty crazy. I also run another part of my business where I offer online programs and services, and I have a yoga membership site and lots of different things. But more recently, what I've started to do is also offer coaching and consultations for other yoga teachers or health and wellness professionals who are curious about bringing their brand and their business online, but don't really know where to start. So I started my YouTube channel almost 3 years ago now, and to be perfectly honest, I had no idea what I was doing. YouTube and creating online content was completely foreign to me. There was no one in my life that could kind of guide me and help me along the path. And very quickly, I noticed that the community of online yogis, at least the one that I was open to, was fairly closed off in terms of sharing information. So I had a lot of questions about YouTube, a lot of questions about going online, and I reached out to some of the people that I admired, but I had a really hard time getting any advice from anyone. So this meant that I lost a lot of time and I lost a lot of money trying things out that just didn't work. Now, of course, I don't think anything is ever really truly wasted, because I learned some really great valuable lessons along the way from all of those mistakes. But more importantly, I really made it a goal for myself very early on that once I got to a certain point on YouTube where I could consider myself successful, I would try to give back to the yoga community as much as I can and be that person who gives help, gives advice, and gives guidance to people who were just like me, starting off and really overwhelmed by the whole thing. And I'm a huge advocate of yoga teachers utilizing the YouTube platform to grow your business and make more money. I feel like there's this glass ceiling in the yoga industry or the career of being a yoga teacher where we're really limited by the amount of time and the amount of resources that we have. So you can really only take on a certain amount of studio jobs or a certain amount of private clients or corporate clients until you just physically cannot put anything else in your schedule anymore, and then you're kind of capped out. And there can also be another limitation that gets imposed if you're in a smaller community. There's only a finite number of students that could come to your classes or could work with you one-on-one. So sometimes you might find that you've been doing this for a while and you're just kind of at a plateau, and it's very hard for you to reach the freedom lifestyle that you would maybe want to attain, or to just have a little bit of extra income every single month so that you can maybe pull back from all these dozens of classes that you're teaching every week to have a bit more time for yourself. Whatever your goal is here, whether you're just trying to make $100 more a month or you'd like to make $10,000 more a month, the real key here is that going online is what's going to help you there. So for me, for example, I've been doing this almost 3 years now, and I've been able to quit my full-time job working for the government and now just do this online yoga stuff full-time, and I make way more money than I did when I was working at the government. And I certainly don't say this to brag or to show off or anything like that, but it's really just to open your minds to the possibility that going online is an amazing way to get your name out there. It's a great way to attract clients to you that otherwise would have never really heard about you. And it's a great way to reach out for different opportunities. I've felt like a yoga career is almost like a one-track lane where everyone's kind of hitting the same milestones. Everyone's trajectory kind of looks the same. And when you go online, you're really able to open that up a little bit. And the diversity of opportunities really starts to get really creative and magical. So you don't necessarily have to do what everyone else is doing of teaching at studios or offering trainings and doing yoga retreats. If that's not your thing, there's so much more that you can do online. So being on YouTube is the #1 best thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. It has completely catapulted my business. It has established me in the yoga community in a really solid way, and it pays my bills. Like, let's just say that, right? Like, let's just be honest with the fact that going on YouTube is a great source of income. Now, YouTube is getting more and more popular for yoga teachers. More people are realizing the potential that it offers. But I see a lot of people who are very frustrated when they either start YouTube or have been doing it for a little while. It's really confusing, it's overwhelming. People don't understand why their videos don't have as many views. And the biggest misconception that I see is that people think it all revolves around the equipment. So spoiler alert, the 5 keys of success on YouTube, none of them have to do with the equipment that you use. Equipment is like the cherry on top of the sundae, you know, or the icing on the cake. It's something that's really, really great to have, but it's not going to establish your foundation on YouTube. So that's enough talking about me and enough me trying to convince you why you should go on YouTube. If you're not already convinced, hopefully the rest of the presentation will help you along. So, like I mentioned, I spend most of my time working with yoga teachers and health and wellness professionals and trying to guide them in creating their online presence through coaching and consultations. And time again, these are the 5 keys that I always go over with them. So I hope that you'll find this useful. Now, the 5 things that you absolutely need in order to be successful on YouTube, whatever success means to you, maybe that's a certain number of views, a certain number of subscribers, a certain amount of engagement. Regardless of what it is, these are the 5 things that you cannot skip out on. Let's look at number 1. Number 1, the most important thing is consistency. So many people miss this point, and I missed it too. For the first 1.5 years that I was on YouTube, I was not at all consistent with my YouTube channel. So when I talk about consistency on YouTube, what I mean is that you set a schedule and you stick to it. It means making a commitment to your YouTube channel and making a commitment to this business venture, making a commitment to the viewers who want to watch your videos. But if you're not consistent with how many videos you put on your YouTube channel and when you do that, it's going to be very hard for you to build an audience and to build a true community of viewers and subscribers who actually really love your content, who subscribe to your channel, who like your video, who share it with their friends, who comment, all that stuff that you want from YouTube. It's not going to happen unless you are consistent. So time and time again, I see yoga teachers that I work with one-on-one through coaching and consultations, and they tell me, you know, they've been running a channel for 6 months, maybe up to a year, and they post videos, you know, but they wonder why it's not working the way that they wanted to. And I'll go and I'll look at their YouTube channel and I notice that, okay, well, in the first month you uploaded 2 yoga videos. The second month you didn't upload anything. The third month you had 6 yoga videos, and then 2 months went by where you had no new videos, and then you put another 3, right? So it's a really irregular, inconsistent trend, and that does not work on YouTube. The number 1 thing YouTube is going to demand of you is consistency. When I was first starting my YouTube channel almost 3 years ago, I was terrified of setting a schedule. Ideally in my mind, I knew that I wanted to be able to offer a weekly yoga class, but I was terrified of advertising that fact because I was worried that I was not going to be able to meet up to that challenge, right? I was worried I wouldn't be able to rise up, and then it would be like I'm lying to my viewers and my subscribers. Even though when I look back on my old stuff, I pretty much was posting every week, but it was never on the same day, and I just had a really big fear of commitment. The moment I decided to move from an amateur to a professional, not necessarily in how much money I make or the things that I do, but it's really like a mindset shift where you have to tell yourself, I'm not an amateur anymore, I am a professional. And professionals, guess what? They have schedules and they stick to it. So I had to make that decision myself that, you know what, I'm going to give myself this challenge and I'm going to start advertising that every single Thursday, people can expect a new video from me. And it blew up. Like, my channel saw the most growth, both in subscribers and in the view count, once I started doing that. And guess what? Once you set a schedule and you advertise it, you have to be accountable. It keeps you accountable. So I had no problem meeting that deadline. So what is better If you're really short on time, if YouTube is not something that you can dedicate a lot of hours to in a week or in a month, you're better off setting a schedule that's a little bit more lenient, so you can advertise the fact that you have a new high quality video once a month or bi-weekly. And if you happen to be able to do more than that, then that's great. You can still post it. That'll just be like a bonus video that you can have that month. But what's important is that you are super strict and consistent with whatever it is, the schedule that you are advertising to your people. The reason we want to do this is that it builds trust between you and the viewer. And this is the piece that people don't seem to understand, is that trust is huge on YouTube. YouTube viewers are kind of fickle. So you really have to learn to put yourself in the viewer's shoes. If you are watching a YouTube channel, you stumble across a video that you really like, for example, and you think, wow, that person has really great stuff. I would like to see what else they have. So you go and you click on their YouTube channel, you look at their video history, and it's kind of all over the place. Or maybe they haven't uploaded a video in 3, 4, 6 months. The likelihood of you subscribing to that channel are very, very, very low. You want to maximize your conversion rate or your opportunity for a viewer to become a subscriber by being very consistent in the actions that you take. It's all about switching from being amateur to being a professional, and it's all in your head. It's a mindset thing. So for sure, number one key to being successful on YouTube, this is the number one thing that helped my channel grow, and I noticed it in just a month or two, was to set a schedule and stick to it. You will rise up to the challenge. You will, and if you're worried that you won't, give yourself a little bit more leniency. Instead of doing a once-a-week video, say that it's bi-weekly, and advertise that fact to your subscribers on YouTube, but also on your other social media platforms, even in person with the people that you work with, either in your studio classes, your one-on-one corporate, whatever your current work model looks like. So number one is consistency. Let's look at number two. The second key to success is value. Now, when I say value, value does not mean the value of the equipment that you have. Value is what you are offering that matters to your subscribers and to your audience. It's about the quality and what you can do, the value that you can offer them. Too often, I see people treat YouTube as a business transaction. So they are using YouTube to push something out to people, or they're using YouTube to sell something, or they're using YouTube to get something from their viewers. If you go into it with that kind of mentality, YouTube is never going to work for you. People are not going to be engaged with your content, and they're not going to be very likely to subscribe to what you have to offer. The harsh realization is YouTube is not really about you. YouTube is about your viewers. Every time you put together a video, every time you upload something to your channel, you want to ask yourself, how can I provide value? How is this helping my viewers? One thing that I see people confront over and over again, and I have that fear briefly, is that they worry that they're giving away too much for free. So they only give a tiny little bit of value, and then they say something like, okay, well, if you want the full value, you have to give me money. You know, that they'll pitch something. And that is not how online marketing works at all. Not on YouTube, not anywhere else. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It's, you know, the day I'm filming this, it's 2017 now, but ever since at least 2 years ago, with online marketing, what really matters is that you offer a lot of free content. Again, why? Because it builds trust. People need to know who you are, what your message is, how do you teach your classes, what are you about. They need to form a relationship with you to know that they do trust you and they like you so much that they would like to work with you even more. So maybe they would end up purchasing your products and your services, or they'll just end up subscribing to your channel and being a really engaged part of your community, which really is what you want. So always focus, how can I provide more value to my audience instead of always worrying about what my audience can give me. Don't be selfish with YouTube. Be as selfless as you possibly can. Think of this as like your karma yoga class that you are giving to the world. Don't try to skimp. Don't try to not give too much. Just give, 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 and of course, give consistently. Every decision that you make, let it be guided by this question: is this providing value to my viewers? If not, if it seems pushy, if it seems a little too salesy, if it feels like a gimmick, if it feels inauthentic, you'll feel it. Like in the deep pit of your stomach, you're gonna know that something is out of alignment here. This is not what you as a viewer, put yourself in the viewer's shoes. Is this something that you would want to watch yourself on YouTube? Is this how you would like other YouTubers to be interacting with you? If you think about your favorite YouTubers that you have right now, just you as a regular person, think of the people that you watch on YouTube. Odds are your favorite people are not the people who are always selling stuff to you. They're the people who are actually giving you a ton of value, right? That's how it tends to work on YouTube. So 1 is consistency, 2 is value. So the third key to success on YouTube that you absolutely need, you cannot skimp out on this, is persistence. Now, persistence is different from consistency. Consistency is about doing something at the same time over and over again and being a very reliable YouTube channel owner. Persistence is not quitting when the going gets tough. I deal with this all the time with clients and with other people. They say they've been running a channel for a couple months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and they want to give up because they're just not getting the results that they were hoping for. YouTube is not something you should go into unless you're in it for the long haul. And I wish I could tell you that there's a magic trick that you can do to blow up your YouTube channel overnight and have a viral video and have millions of subscribers and make $10,000 a month from your YouTube channel, but I can't because it doesn't exist. There are for sure things that you can do to maximize the opportunity of having lots of views and lots of engagement on your videos. But at the end of the day, this is something that you are going to have to include in your work business model. YouTube is not something that you should be doing just for 6 months. It's something that can take years and years to really grow and build. But don't let this discourage you. The one great thing to me about YouTube as a YouTube channel owner that really kept me from getting discouraged, because believe me, I wanted to quit multiple times over the last 3 years. I was really disappointed that my channel wasn't growing fast enough. I was comparing my channel to other people's channels and wondering, why do they have so many views and I have none or very little? The best thing that kept me going, and that's really encouraging, is the great thing about YouTube is it pretty much always goes up. So every month you should be doing better than you did the month before, assuming that you are consistent. That is the key. If you consistently provide more content or just content on a regular week-to-week or bi-weekly basis, you will always get more views and more subscribers. So even though your progress might be slow, it is on an incline. And that really kept me going in the dark days where I just felt like embarrassed almost by my small channel. I was worried about other people seeing how small my channel was. I felt like I was failing, and I felt like I was failing very publicly. But my God, like, I'm so glad I stuck with it, because today it has 50,000 subscribers. I get 3,000 new subscribers at least every single month. And it's a huge part of my life, and it's catapulted me into a bunch of other areas of my business that I would have never been able to embark on had I not stuck with YouTube. So you need to be persistent. I used to tell myself all the time, like a little mantra every time I woke up: when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? So you just need to be okay with the fact that there's gonna be some challenges along the way. You're gonna encounter some resistance, and you probably won't have the same results as your friend did or as the other person online did, and that's totally fine. What's important is that you focus on the key number 2. Are you delivering value, and are you being consistent? Key number 1. Just ask yourself, what can I learn from this? If you find that your YouTube channel is actually not going on an incline, the average will. If you're consistent and you provide value, you should be going on an incline even though it's slow. But if you notice that you're actually going down, your view count is dipping, your subscriber count is dipping, it's just not working out, you should know that there is a lesson to be learned there. This is YouTube trying to capture your attention and say, hey, there's something you're doing that is not working with your audience. There's a lesson to be learned there. It's probably happened to me once or twice over the last 2 years. And of course, every single time there was a lesson for me to learn. I wasn't using the right keywords. I wasn't using the correct tags. The topics and the themes of my videos were not what my audience was hoping to see from me. And you just have to be willing to see that and willing to accept the fact that sometimes you make mistakes, and you're just gonna have to roll up your sleeves and try a little bit harder next time and be persistent with it. It's gonna take a little while, and if you're not okay with that, YouTube is not the platform for you. I can tell you that much. So first was consistency, second was value, third is persistence. Key to success on YouTube, number 4, this is a big one, is authenticity. Authenticity means that you are yourself. Unfiltered, maybe a little filtered, but really not so much. You want to let your personality shine through on camera. I'm always telling people YouTube is not television. Here's what I mean by that. When you're watching someone on television, they have a perfect set, they have the perfect equipment, they have the perfect hair, the perfect makeup, the perfect outfit. Their speech is eloquent and perfect because this is what they do for a living. Everything they do, the entire segment, if you're watching the news or just watching a television show, it is beautifully done and it is flawless. So it's tempting to believe that that's what you need to emulate on YouTube in order to have a successful YouTube channel, but it's actually the opposite that is true. People who have videos that are way too polished, way too pristine and perfect tend to not really do well in engagement. Maybe they have a lot of views, maybe they have a lot of subscribers, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean much. What you want is an engaged community, people that actually feel like they relate to you, people who actually take the time to comment on your videos, to share them with their friends and with their family, to email you, to subscribe to your newsletter, to purchase your products and services, people who actually care. And you can only make someone care about you if you show them who you really are. That means being flawed. Are you okay with that? Are you actually okay being flawed on camera? You need to be able to show these flaws, whether that's not being super put together in your video. Maybe you stumble on your words from time to time. Maybe you fall out of a yoga pose. So what? So what? I always tell people you don't need to edit every single little thing of your video. Of course, you still want your videos to look professional and to have a certain branding quality that is consistent with your brand. But at the end of the day, we need to know why your YouTube channel is different from my YouTube channel and different from all the other yoga YouTube channels that exist out there. People are always worrying that there are too many yoga YouTube channels out there, so there's no possible way that they can make a name for themselves because the market is just too crowded, too saturated, and they kind of give up that way. Once you are authentic and you really learn to let your personality shine through and you learn to really be who you are on camera and to allow that to flow into your videos, competition becomes absolutely irrelevant because all of a sudden it's easy for your viewers to recognize the fact that there is no one else like you. They know exactly what it is that they like about you. The risk here is that some people are going to see you, see your personality, see you in your realness and in your authenticity, and they won't like it. And that's fine. That's perfectly cool. That is what you want. The last thing you want is to try to cater to everyone and please everyone. It doesn't work. It never, ever, ever works. If you're always placing yourself on a pedestal, I guarantee it, one day or another, you're gonna fall off and you're gonna fall real hard. So you might as well be honest and be exactly who you are without a pedestal. The people who like you, who like your message, who jive well with your personality, they're gonna stick around and they're gonna become part of your tribe. The people who don't, that's fine. They're gonna move on and find the yoga teacher on YouTube who fits well with them. So don't worry about having the biggest numbers and being completely flawless. Be authentic. You're a human being, you have flaws. The people who are watching your videos are human beings and they have flaws, and they're going to appreciate the fact that you're comfortable enough in your own skin to let those little quirks in your personality show through. Definitely be authentic. It is the key to connection, to community, and trust. So I'll say that again. Authenticity is the key to connection, community, and trust, the three big pillars that you want for your YouTube channel. All right, the last one. So we've covered the 4 keys to success on YouTube. The last one is also very important. The last one is community. What I mean by community is that your channel is not really about you. Although it has your face and your name and your videos, at the end of the day, your channel is something that you are offering to a community, to a tribe of people that you want to call in and really form bonds and relationships with. Community is more important than customers. Too often I see people fail a little bit here because they neglect to engage the people who are actually viewing their videos, and the only way they kind of interact with people is to sell them stuff, and that doesn't work. You need to actually foster a sense of belonging and foster a sense of community within the people that watch your videos so that they have a reason to keep coming back. They have a reason to follow you on your other social media platforms and to maybe eventually purchase your products and services. But otherwise, who cares? They're not going to care about you. They're not going to be interested in what you have to say. People want to be engaged. They want to belong somewhere. So a great way that you can foster a sense of community on your YouTube channel is to promote across other social media platforms. You can use a dedicated hashtag. That's a trick that I've used a lot in the past and it works. So the hashtag Yoga with Kassandra is one that I've created. And when people tag me or use that hashtag, I make sure that I go and I look and I leave them a nice little note and I like what they have to say. Most important on YouTube specifically, to foster a sense of community, please, 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 please respond to your comments. That is my biggest pet peeve that I have about other people, other YouTube channel owners. When you reach a certain amount of views and subscribers, I understand that it becomes, nearly impossible to answer every single person. You would need like a full-time staff member to just do that full-time. But when you have, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers, even just a couple hundred subscribers, it totally insults me when I see people who put out this content, they have a very small channel and people are actually making the effort of leaving comments on their videos and the owner is nowhere to be seen. They don't acknowledge the fact that someone took the time out of their day to leave you some feedback, whether the feedback was positive or negative. You have a responsibility to acknowledge the people who have actually watched the things that you wanted them to watch in the first place. Foster a sense of community. Otherwise, I can almost guarantee that person, they're gone. Another way that you want to foster a sense of community on your channel is by using call to actions and surveys, things like that. Things where you are asking something of your audience and you actually want to know an answer back from them. So at the end of the video, a call to action can be like, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this video. Did it help you? Did it not? Whatever, right? Just ask a question, and when you get answers from them, respond. Keep them engaged that way. Another great way to foster a sense of community is through surveys. So you can launch surveys out and polls to your audience. People love to answer those. And it's also by doing some contests or some giveaways that really brings people together and makes them care that much more about your channel. So you can really get creative when it comes to creating and fostering a sense of community on YouTube. There's no one way to do it. I just want, more than anything, I want you to have that at the front of your mind, like really have it clear in your mind that this is the approach that you are going to take with your channel. You are not going to be using your channel strictly to push stuff out to people, strictly to sell. You don't want to focus on customers, you want to focus on community. So they are not numbers, they are people that you want to eventually learn how to relate with. So that covers the 5 tips the 5 keys to success on YouTube. So let's just go over them again. First one was consistency. Second one was value. Third is persistence. Fourth is authenticity. And fifth is community. Sorry, I had a little mind blank here. Now, if you are putting all of those 5 keys into action with every video that you put out, on a regular basis, you are going to start seeing results. Remember, equipment is nice to have, but it is not the fundamental base of your YouTube channel, right? If you feel like you still have a lot of questions about YouTube, I mean, YouTube is something I could really be talking about for hours and hours and hours, because it's just, there's so much that goes into it here, right? But the 5 keys are what I wanted to give you now, because I'm always answering emails from people, and I thought, you know what, it's taking me way too long to answer everyone one at a time. I'll just make a video about it. But if you want to learn more about how to market your YouTube videos, how to use your descriptions, your tags, how to promote it across other social media platforms, what kind of thumbnail you should use, and what kind of equipment you should use, I have actually put together a full beginner's guide to YouTube, an ebook. It's about 20 pages or so, and it has all my best tips, all my best advice, the stuff that I normally go with my clients one-on-one that we kind of dive deep into. I just thought it would be a little bit more efficient for me to put that all together in an ebook format. So that ebook is available. You guys can get 20% off that ebook if you use the code YTWebinar at checkout. And I will, of course, post a link to all of those down below, but you'll also get I'm going to be emailing you a replay of this video, of this webinar, so you can watch it again if you need to go over some of the notes. But in that email, I'm also going to have the link to this ebook, and I'm also going to give you the coupon code. The coupon code is YTWebinar, but I'll give it to you in writing so that you don't forget it. You can also just go to my website, yogawithkassandra.com, to get the ebook from there. Final little thing, if you are not already a part of my Yoga Teachers Facebook group, I have a Facebook group here that is private. It's for yoga teachers or people who are currently taking their yoga teacher training, and it's all about creating an online presence. It's called A Yogi's Guide to Building an Online Presence, and you can request to join by going to bit.ly/online yoga FB. So bit.ly/online yoga FB. And again, all of this information is going to be sent to you in the follow-up email that will come with this replay. Thank you so very much for watching this. I really do hope you found it helpful. I'm always eager to hear from viewers and know what you took from this the most. So I'm very much accessible through email. You can reach out to me at hello@yogawithkassandra.com, and I always reply. It might take me a couple days, but I promise I always reply to the emails that I get, and it's not someone else who answers it for me or anything like that. It's me, and I love to hear from you. So if you have questions about this training, about the ebook, about the coaching, whatever it may be, if you just have feedback or, you know, want to send me some of that feedback, just email it to me and I'll be happy to reply to you. Thank you so very much. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.